Hello, loyal, non-existent Scrambled Checksum listeners. Ethan here. I just want to take a quick moment before we get into the usual shenanigans that you have all come to expect if you have actually listened to any of our podcasts, to acknowledge that this episode was recorded significantly before the controversy that you may or may not be aware of surrounding Linus Tech Tips, Linus Media Group, Linus Sebastian, etc. I mentioned this because the intro I did this week was very much a reference to Linus's classic segue style. And I just wanted to make sure you are aware that that is in no way indicative of my stance on the whole controversy. There is an episode that was recorded a couple of days ago as I'm recording this. I'm actually recording this intro about a week before the podcast will go out, so I'm sure many things will have developed by the time this comes out. But we did, yes, record a podcast in which we tried very hard not to reference the controversy and failed miserably and got quite salty a couple of days ago, and you'll be hearing that in probably about a month in our classic out of touch, long out of date style. So without further ado, please enjoy the shenanigans that is episode 11 of the Scrambled Checksum.
Have you stored enough for you to think of an intro yet?
No, but I'm just going to go straight into it. I'm not even going to prep what topics we're going to talk about.
I have one that I would like to talk about.
Okay, we'll do that.
But not to lead with, though.
Don't tell me what it is, and I'll try and segue into it.
Well, if you don't know what it is, you can't segue into it.
I can, Kieran. I can segue into anything.
Okay, all right.
Like this intro to our podcast. Hello and welcome back to the Scrambled Checksum podcast. My name is Ethan, and I am joined, as always, by my good friend Kieran, who will no doubt have noticed that I did once again say welcome back to the Scrambled Checksum podcast in the now naive, potentially, optimism that someone has listened to a previous episode and has come back to listen to this, episode 11. Yes, that's right, we've got 10 previous episodes. Why haven't you listened to them? Go and listen to them right now, and maybe I will learn how to speak without tripping over my words. Kieran, how the devil are you?
Hello there, Ethan. Wow, I was actually gonna preemptively strike there with the welcome back, but you cut that one out from under me.
Yeah, I'm not letting lightning strike twice.
Yeah, I think you might have been overly optimistic there, given that I've just edited episode 10, so I know what the previous one to this sounds like. But yeah, I'm absolutely wonderful.
Maybe they forgot to listen to 10, and then they listened to 9, which was all right.
They started with 9.
Yeah, and then they went straight to 11. Maybe they don't like even numbers.
Yeah, maybe it's like a superstitious thing.
Maybe.
But yeah, I am absolutely wonderful. I'm fresh off the back, actually, of I want to say successful, and I'm going to say it's a jank build because it's janky. But I'm fresh off the back of a successful practical build, which is something I'm not particularly good at.
Could this, by any chance, have anything to do with Sorry, this is a tangent. I'm going off on a tangent without even finishing my sentence. I've just remembered what I said last episode that could have got me cancelled.
Oh, I don't even... What
I think
I
said something along the lines that I'd happily murder cats or something. To that
you didn't say you'd happily murder them.
I think I said that I wouldn't mind if they died.
I don't think you said you wouldn't. I think you're actually like...
Well, now I've said that.
Yeah.
I remember I said something about cats that wasn't cool.
You just kind of said that you should electrify the fence, but you didn't
that was it. Yeah.
I'm a bit worried about what you've just accidentally revealed there.
Shit.
Ethan accidentally reveals top secret hatred of cats.
Fuck! I walked into the
it's whatever, I already
Anyway,
talked about that
just before I dig a hole any deeper, does this jank build creation have anything to do with that by any chance?
It does, yeah. Ethan actually does have several cats. He loves them very much.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
No, Ethan does not hate cats. You were I think you said last week. You said it to you were just saying it because your doggo was present, so you didn't want to,
Yes, of course, yeah.
It was actually quite sweet. Anyway, yeah, the build was the cat build. So my partner's just to summarise it for all the non-returning listeners, my partner's got a shed where she feeds birds on top of. Her neighbour's got some new cats that are just about to be released into the outdoors. We were worried that the cats would get the birds, so I wanted to build a protective fence around an aviary, if you will, around the shed to keep the birds safe while they're being fed and not deter the cat. Well, deter the cats from jumping up, but not in like a dickish way. Like I didn't want anything like spray water on them or anything like that, or like beeped or anything. I just wanted like a physical fence to protect them.
Spraying
So, yeah,
water on them sounds like an excellent idea, though. I would be right behind that. That sounds.
It's cruel. They don't like it.
Exactly. That's what a deterrent is. A deterrent isn't a deterrent if they like it.
Well, it's not like I don't want it like a deterrent in the sense like it physically like they're afraid of it. I just want it to be something where they're like, oh, I can't go there.
Okay. Cats are devious though. They'll find a way.
That's why it was challenging, right? Because
I don't even know what this is, but I'm calling it now. It's going to fail because it doesn't squirt water at them or election.
Well, that's the thing is like, I don't know. Maybe they treat it as a game.
What
if they're like
electrocuted?
Well, no, the water squirting. If they're like, oh, I can just about dodge this.
Yeah.
And then like I don't know, maybe they'd enjoy it, or they'd start like drinking from the water and get I don't know.
Yeah, either way, they don't make it to the birds. So.
Well, that's true. It's a challenging build because the shed's surrounded on two long, like 2.5 meter sides by fence panels, so they can walk along these fence panels, and the shed's like only a couple of feet above it, so it's an easy jump for them.
Yeah.
But obviously, I can't just build like a 10-foot high fence around the top of a shed because it's going to look ridiculous.
Very tall.
I mean, I could.
I mean, yeah. Well, wow. Might not be very stable.
I mean, legally, I don't know if I could at that scale, but
yeah,
like,
I don't know how high you're allowed to build. Yeah, you need planning permission over a certain height, don't you?
Yeah, right. And then like, I don't think the neighbours would be too thrilled about having like a gigantic fence, like 10 feet high.
Probably not.
So
no, maybe they're like unusually accepting neighbours.
They're like, yeah, we love the fence actually.
Maybe they also hate cats eating birds.
Maybe, but I think they'd still probably object to the 10-foot high fence. So anyway, I couldn't do that. Also, they can climb really well, so it's like if I'd done that, they'd have probably just climbed up it anyway and thwarted me that way. Yeah. So my solution was, and I thought the solution itself was pretty well, I'm not going to say it was well built, but I thought the idea was good. So it's only like 2 feet high, the fence, but obviously they could just jump over that. Mm-hmm. So I've put an overhang on the top of it, so it's like it'll discourage them from jumping over it. So it like goes up and then out at a 90-degree angle.
Okay.
And it's made of like green metal garden mesh.
Okay.
So I'm hoping that the overhang will discourage them from climbing it, because it's like they can't climb over it because there's like an overhang. And
I see, yeah.
Yeah, and it will discourage them from jumping it because like it's not just like a hurdle, it's now like a up and out, there's some like depth to it.
Yeah.
So it's been built. It was more of an undertaking than I thought. And I screwed up the design a little bit, so I had to go back to B&Q for more materials.
Yeah.
Which is every single...
Other hardware stores are available.
Yeah, other hardware stores are available. And I mean, there wasn't any other hardware stores available, I think, when I was building it, but there are other hardware stores in existence.
Yeah.
So like any project I did, I had to go back there twice.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's built. It's not going to win any beauty pageants, I don't think.
No. Well, have you got any pictures that I could see so I could, peruse and describe?
I have a picture that I could send you.
Go on.
If you're interested in seeing it, which I'll just find and find and send to you as I'm talking to you about the process. So I unfortunately ended up building it on what I think was the windiest day we've ever had in this country.
Oh yeah. Last Saturday.
Yeah, so I was climbing up and down on this roof.
Yeah.
It was such a pain, the wind. Trying to like get this fence put into position. And like it doesn't look beautiful. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's gonna see it and be like, oh wow, this is absolutely... They
won't look at it because they'll just see the beautiful, not murdered by cats, birds. Oh god, that's
exactly.
Not,
they can enjoy.
Professional of me. Was that you?
That was me sending you the photo of my fence.
Usually
so
I put my phone on Do Not Disturb, but I just forgot.
Oh, shocking! I'll allow it. But that's the fence.
Oh, okay.
So you can see the overhang. You can see the happy birds.
Yeah, there's a lot of pigeons that I can confirm are not dead.
And there's no cat. If you see a cat in the background, don't tell me. You're like, wait, that's a weird looking pigeon in the background on the other side of that fence. But yeah, you can see the bill. You can't see the jank so well on that one.
I'm scanning. I can't see any cats.
No, the jank comes from how it's attached to the shed roof, because it's like...
Yeah, what is that?
What is that in the background?
Oh, can you hear that?
No.
Oh, bit of phone interference. Discord's probably cutting it out. I'm sure our listeners that aren't listening can hear it, but I'll just hang on. Let me just put my phone on airplane mode.
Honestly, amateur hour.
Oh, no, it's still doing it. Oh, there we go. Okay, stop.
Well, that's because when you put it on airplane mode, it just has to still spy on you.
Well, it was probably disconnecting, like sending a "I'm leaving now."
Oh yeah, disconnecting. Yeah, disconnecting from the network that you think you're on and connecting to the secret government network.
Xi Jinping spy.
Yeah, connecting to NSA.
Yeah,
they connect to all of them just to hedge their bets.
The KGB, NSA, MI5, whichever
just all of them.
The real one.
Yeah, MI5, MI6, CIA, FBI. NSA. You got when you run a big tech company, you got to make sure you're sending data equally to all the surveillance.
Yeah,
things.
yeah. It's like that, the principle in film and TV where it's like it's like how do Family Guy and all those shows get away with like blatant racism and things. It's because they're indiscriminate in who they discriminate against.
Like, that whole thing. Yeah, so it's like, you just if you send the data to everyone, you don't piss anyone off. So like. You can operate in any country because you're like, well, we'll send you the data.
I didn't get a copy of my data. They didn't send it to me.
Well, no, because, you're not in a position of power yet. Our time will come.
Yes, one day. The scrambled spy network.
That's what we'll pivot to. That's what this podcast is. It's actually like a number station.
Data collection. That's what it is.
Yeah.
8, so far, the only data we're collecting is us.
3. That's what we'll pivot to. We'll pivot to a creepy number station.
69. 400.
Nice. Or we'll say that we're a number station, or we'll say that there's messages encoded in our bollocks.
That's called DNA, Kieran.
Oh dear. Yeah. So in that amazing joke, there's actually a secret message to undercover agents working overseas. We'll put a £10,000 bounty on anyone that can solve the message from that using advanced cryptography and all sorts. Anyway, I was talking about my shed project. Yeah, it's not going to win any beauty pageants. It's
not the most ugly thing I've ever seen.
It's not, is it? Considering, the fences aren't traditionally known to be beautiful. I would have done things differently.
It looks pretty standard garden DIY, I'd say.
Yeah, it's not going to go anywhere. That's the main. It didn't blow off in that weather, so that was my main concern. Is it was attached securely. Would I have done it differently? Would I have had it not sagging a little bit because it's flexible garden mesh? Probably.
Yeah, but
it does the job.
It's a proof of concept to a degree as well, isn't it? There's no point going full send if you don't know it's going to work yet. So
yeah, exactly. So the 10-foot one will come if this kind of works.
Yeah.
But I didn't hurt myself either. Didn't fall off the shed roof.
Yeah, that's always a positive.
Yeah, didn't drill into my hand.
Also
another positive. Didn't damage.
Did you whack your thumb with a hammer?
No, I didn't actually.
No,
I didn't actually have a hammer available.
Right. Okay.
Probably for the best, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. So mission accomplished, I would say. I'll report back if it blows away or falls off the roof or anything.
Or you find a dead bird on the roof.
No, I'd be devastated. Honestly, if this fails catastrophically like that, I'll be devastated.
Yeah, that would be a shame.
But yeah, so far so good. So far so good on the project.
Oh, nice. I have got another question as to your technique. Did you use a Stanley knife at any point?
No.
Ah, okay.
No, so I've learned my lesson with Stanley knives.
Yeah. You've got to have a piece of cardboard underneath what you're cutting, and then put
leg underneath the cardboard.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Find the femoral artery or whichever one it is in your leg.
Yeah.
Align that specifically with the cardboard.
Yeah, and then make sure you extend the Stanley knife as long
max.
As it
because it doesn't cut. What's the point? It doesn't cut properly if it's only extended a little bit.
Exactly.
And make sure it's one of the Stanley knives that locks once you extend it too, not one of the safer ones that you have to hold out.
Yeah.
To be fair, I was using a pair of wire cutter type things. They were small ones. They were like shears, but for wire to cut the mesh.
Yeah.
And anything like that, I don't know. They sketch me out a little bit because it's God, you just I don't know.
Yeah, I hate working with sharp things.
Yeah, you just like, God, I could just put my finger in there, right? But obviously you're not going to, but like...
Yeah, it's just, yeah, I know what you
Yeah.
mean. It's hard, yeah,
It was nice to use because it cut through the mesh like butter, but it's like,
yeah.
while you're doing it, you're like, God, if I
get the same thing when, like, you know when I'm cooking, and like, when like cutting onions.
yeah.
Like, I always find that super sketch because of the layers. You know how like sometimes you put the knife on it and then it'll like slip.
Oh,
like,
yeah, when
one
they
of the
slip
layers
off.
moves, and I'm just like, oh my God, I need to like secure this with my fingers, but there's literally nowhere I could put my finger where if I don't slip in a certain way, it's not going to just slice part of my finger.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like,
or
God,
like
I hate it every time.
You've got like you've got a big pan of hot oil. And if it's just me, I've like done deep frying in a wok before.
Oh yeah.
Because I don't have a proper deep fryer.
I feel like I remember you telling me about this and me just going, oh my God.
It was pretty safe. I've not had a chip pan fire yet. I mean, it's still a chip pan fire, so technically it wouldn't be a chip pan fire.
Please tell me you at least have like a fire blanket or like a damp tea towel or something.
No, none of that. I have a dry tea towel.
Yeah, absolutely no safety precautions whatsoever.
Well, no,
oh my God.
Because what I'll do...
This is worse than the TV.
If it caught fire, what I would do is just get a big bottle of water and just dump that on it. Put it right out. I know exactly. Yeah, I
right.
do know. Yeah, it's fine.
In the unlikely event that anybody is listening,
yeah, please don't ever do that.
Please do not do that. Not just the pouring water on the wok full of scalding hot oil. Just don't even put yourself in that situation in the first fucking place. Like, that's just all manner of terrible ideas. Just don't do it.
If you put enough water on it, it'd go out.
Oh my God! I actually set fire to a frying pan once.
To be fair, I imagine it would be pretty scary. I've never actually set fire to a frying pan.
But I know in my head, like I can remember from like a young age it being drilled into me, like you don't put water on hot oil.
Yeah.
And like, if you ever have a frying pan fire, you put a wet cloth over it and wait for it to go out.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't, obviously call the fire brigade. But like my instant reaction was like, oh fuck, and to run over to the sink, and luckily it went out before I could turn the tap on, and then I was like, oh shit,
thank
that was
God.
a terrible idea.
Yeah.
Then I realised afterwards, but in just the raw panic, like when it happened, I was like, oh fuck.
The closest thing I had to luckily it wasn't a frying. I've never had a frying pan fire, even though I've deep fried multiple times in this wok. The closest thing I had was when not long after I'd moved out. Classic dude trying to cook for himself for the first time scenario.
Oh no.
I was microwaving some kale. I thought I'll try and make a healthy meal. I didn't eat a lot of kale.
Is this why you don't eat vegetables anymore?
Let's say it is. Yeah. Yeah. So I was microwaving some kale, but I didn't realise that you had to put water in with it.
Right.
So I just microwaved it dry, and then it caught fire in the microwave. It was just in there with no water.
Oh no!
So I looked over at the microwave, and like obviously because it was all contained in the microwave, I didn't see smoke or anything, so I didn't notice it until I looked over and I saw like flames inside this bowl that this kale was in.
I didn't even know that was possible.
Well, you wouldn't think so, would you? But yeah, like because
No.
you obviously microwave kale's kind of like tough, right? You have to microwave it for quite a long time to kind of break it down. The idea is to put it in water. It's not just like you microwave it for 30 seconds. I think it was several minutes. So yeah, just like dry leaves in there. They've got water in them. Like that all evaporates away.
Yeah.
Yeah, that evaporates like instantly, and then they just burn to a crisp. So they were on fire in this bowl.
Oh no.
And what I did
that
was
is very crispy kale.
yeah, it was. It was. I mean, it probably would have been quite probably not quite nice, but a nice bit of char.
Yeah, char grilled kale.
Yeah, some people like char. Sometimes people do that on the barbecue. Put some greens on there, get a bit of char on them. But what I did was I was in a ground floor flat at the time. My kitchen had a window in it, so I just took the bowl with like some oven gloves and just dumped it out the window.
Nice.
Because there's just some like paving slabs outside, so I just dumped it out the window. That was my kind of solution.
Did you just leave it there, or?
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't hurting anyone.
Fair enough.
Yeah, left it there, went to sleep, came back the other morning. There was all the vegetation out there had burned down, but that must probably unrelated, right?
At least the flat didn't burn down.
Yeah, exactly. That's the main thing. No, I just dumped it out the window. But no, I do know about the chip pan fire, and I have never had a fire, despite deep frying chips and stuff in this wok.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Honestly, I feel like the wok is safer because it's like it's so high sided that like if I'm not sloshing it around, obviously.
Yeah, I guess like I don't know. How do deep fat fryers mitigate the fire risk?
They don't.
Deep fat
I think it's just
fryers,
temperature control, right?
Yeah.
They just don't get too hot that the oil combusts.
Yeah. Okay.
I actually don't know what causes a chip pan fire. Because they just kind of happen, don't they? So I assume it's that the oil gets too hot, and then it reaches its like what's it called?
Flash point.
Flash point, that's the one. And then it just like catches fire.
Yeah, well, I know what happened with mine. What happened with mine was I heated the oil up in the pan, and I was using a cast iron pan, so you have to kind of get it quite hot.
Oh yeah, they take ages
to get the non-stick to the oil to kind of form the non-stick, basically.
Yeah.
And then I was cooking some frozen sausages, and I just kind of unceremoniously just dumped them into the pan. And next thing I know, there's flames coming up out of it.
Wow, I'm wondering what caught fire in them, because like you'd think with like sausages, normally it would be like fat,
yeah,
but obviously these were veggie sausages. Yeah, so like what ingredient in them caught fire?
I don't know. Well, they were frozen, so I assume maybe it was
maybe the water doesn't catch fire though.
No, but
it just evaporates explosively. That's the problem.
Yeah, but maybe that's what caused the enough like energy.
I just don't know what. But I suppose like vegetables are flammable.
Yeah, but it's not really a vegetable though. I mean, everything's flammable.
Well, that's true.
At a certain point.
Well, yeah, but like I'm trying to think what a vegetarian sausage would be.
I think it must have been like you say, because like the. Should we? Okay, let's ask the internet.
Maybe it was the mushrooms, or like the fungus that they put in them.
Is water on frying pan bad?
It wouldn't. Why would it catch fire? It couldn't. It's got to be something in the. I'm blaming the sausage. I'm gonna come out and say that's the sausage. I think if you tracked down the brand and emailed them years later and said, "Hey, your sausage started a sausage pan fire in my house," I reckon you get at least a free pack or two.
Here's why you should never put water on an oil fire.
It's like, yeah, it's like that's not helpful. We want to know what started the veggie fire. What started Ethan's sausage fire? Was it the vegetables? Or was it the ice? Because like, you'd think they were frozen, they'd be less likely to catch fire because they're not on their flash point. In fact, what's the flash point of a vegetarian sausage?
Sorry, hang on. I'm just.
I feel like this is something that we need to do actual research on.
Small pan. Cooking.
I feel like we need to get a pan. I've got a portable barbecue. We heat the pan up, measure the temperature, and then we put those sausages in it until they catch fire.
This is going to require research outside the
I think we need to do a
podcast,
practical demonstration. I think we need to start a sausage pan fire.
You know what? 4 weeks.
Yeah, we'll do the research. We'll report back. We'll
add this to the list of videos that we've got to shoot.
Yeah, we might do the research. We might not.
Yeah, no promises.
There's other questions to be answered there, like what's the most flammable veggie sausage?
Well, so far we've only tested corn, and we've determined fairly.
Yeah, there you go. It's like that experiment you do at school where you burn the donut and.
I feel like those vegan, what are they called? There's like these vegan ones that I think you can get from Aldi. They're quite dry. I feel like they're a bit more flammable.
Like Tinder.
Yeah, yeah. They're just waiting to start a house fire.
rub them together in the pack, and they'll just go on like.
Bear Grylls actually used one in his survival pack to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I reckon I'm gonna
in between gargling piss, he.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say I'm gonna say the Beyond Meat ones if they still make them.
Okay.
I reckon they're so full like because they're so full of like weird like chemicals and stuff. Not chemicals, but you know what I mean. Like
there's those vegan sausages that are made out of this weird ingredient, petroleum. Got a feeling that those ones might be quite flammable.
I think those Beyond ones have got so much different stuff in them that there's going to be something in there that's like flammable. I reckon the Beyond ones.
Yeah.
That's going to be my call.
There's only one way to find out.
Yeah, exactly. We'll check. We'll do the research.
Head to head.
Yeah.
Vegan/vegetarian sausage flammability testing.
Yeah, we'll do it like LTT Labs.
Yeah, we'll set up a rigorous set of tests with all in controlled environments.
We'll buy like a 50 grand professional kitchen.
Yeah. And we'll buy one of those temperature controlled humidity chamber things. Put it all in.
Oh, you know what they use for testing Cherry MX switches?
Yeah, and just to be safe, we'll get a hydraulic press as well.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you've got to have that for the thumbnam, haven't you?
Yeah.
What frozen sausage?
We set fire to vegan sausages, then crush them with a hydraulic.
So we just combine all the clickbait.
Yeah.
Every clickbait video idea that's like. So I'm trying to. Oh, so it'll be like we gave. Oh, it's like eat. No, okay. Here's what the video would be. Right. You'd start out with like a Mr. Beast style, like eat the most frozen sausages.
Yeah, whoever eats the most frozen sausages gets a lifetime supply of frozen sausages plus a hydraulic can crusher. Gone sexual. Dog sees veteran returning for the first time in 10 years.
Fake animal rescue.
5-minute crafts.
Oh yeah, it would be like a life hack. Well, the life hack is that. Oh my god, how meta would that be? So it's a life hack on how to make a load of money on the internet.
Yeah.
With AI generated videos featuring hydraulic. The person that eats the most veggie sausages gets hydraulic pressed into a veggie sausage.
Yes. Okay.
Well, I mean, it's not technically veggie at that point, but into a sausage.
I don't think that would be the biggest problem with doing that. I'm not gonna lie.
No, I think they probably might get demonetized as well.
You think?
Yeah,
I think
probably.
that might be the least of our concerns.
Yeah.
I think put in prison for forever might be more of a pressing issue.
But that would be the video, because then it's like sausage prank gone wrong, prison time.
Sausage prank gone wrong.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Hashtag in prison.
Oh dear.
Hashtag blessed.
Talking of Mr. Beast, I got an advert at the top of my YouTube feed on my phone today for an actual scam, like Mr. Beast scam. It was like
I've heard about those. I've not seen one yet.
Post. It was like Beast_ giveaway or something was the channel.
Oh no! And
it was like, watch this video, instantly win £5,000 with like a British Jack, what's it called? Union Jack and like Jimmy on it.
Wait, I don't understand, because it's like, who's going to fall for that? Because is it like, so was it just some guys like, all right, mate, if I'm Mr. Beast, watch my video, and
I don't know, I didn't click on it. It was
because, like, you know what? I feel like even children that scam's targeted to wouldn't fall for that if they had some guy just like coming on who was like, "Hey up, it's Mr. Beast here." Like, I don't think they'd fall. I'm guessing it wasn't that. Maybe it was.
Right,
I know a lot of them use AI voices.
Fucking hell! How is YouTube not got a way of like catching this?
I know, it's like, because you hear all the stories about like people whose legit ads get disapproved.
Yeah.
So like, it's not like they don't disapprove anything.
It feels like 9 out of 10 ads that I see on YouTube these days are for things that like I either manufactured garbage or a scam.
Oh, see, I don't get Temu ads on YouTube anymore.
I don't get many, but I got one. They're already having a 90% off sale. How can you have 90% off something that was already 50 cents? Like,
it's mental. They run at a loss, to be fair.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I think that's not going to last for like too long.
I'm shopping like a billionaire.
Yeah, I don't think that 90. I mean, like, there's a lot of problems with that ad campaign. I don't really like the idea of shopping like a billionaire either. But it's like. It's not like, the common argument I see is that people say like, oh, well, these people pay Google so they don't care and they just let them run the ads because they're paying the money. But that's not true. Like, they do disapprove ads because, like, it happens, ads get disapproved. But why, I don't understand, why they can't catch these, like, obvious scams.
Yeah, it never used to be like that.
No, and I don't know if it used to be like, I don't know, I don't know if I'm just misremembering it, but it used to be like just all big brands I see on YouTube.
No, you're not. It definitely did used to be that. You never used to get like those kind of like obvious scam ads were the kind of things you'd see on just like rando forums and stuff.
Yeah, like, you'd never get them on like...
You wouldn't get them on something that was using Google AdSense before.
No, and you wouldn't see them on YouTube for sure. I remember YouTube. I feel like YouTube used to be just like big companies or like...
Yeah.
Or companies with a lot of money behind them. Like I remember Dollar Shave Club, when they were independent, used to do a lot of those, as well as the sponsorships. But like, it's like the same with sponsorships, though, I think.
Yeah.
Like it used to be... I don't know, they were always a bit sketchy, weren't they? But you never got the ones like, what's it called? Masterworks?
Masterworks. Oh, is that the one where you like invest in art?
Yeah, you invest in fine art, and it's kind of like...
It's like, yeah.
It's not a scam, but
it is like promoting a highly shady, like ethically questionable.
It's hard to say because it's like I don't think it's ethically questionable as such because like you do actually invest in the art, but I think it's more like it's more shady in the sense that they make it sound like you're not going to lose money, that there's no chance that you can lose money.
Yeah.
When like there's actually quite a bit. It's just a gamble.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I don't feel like you ever used to get the complete scam ones of like someone pretending to be Mr. Beast or something like that. So it's weird to me that they can't put a stop to them.
Yeah. Well,
maybe we could test that.
Yeah. It's another thing we could do. Maybe we could fix Google. You know what? All this talking about like the issues with the internet is making me wish that I had a great way, a great form of escapism. Like maybe like I could pretend to be someone else for a period of time, like maybe like an RPG sort of experience,
like Raid Shadow Legends.
That's not where I was going with that. Actually, I was.
Oh yeah, I saw. Yeah. Not like Raid Shadow Legends.
No, like Raid. No. This episode sponsor Raid Shadow Legends.
Rage. I love when people do the Raid Shadow Legends. They're quite charming in a scummy kind of way. Yeah. I'm like, hey, come and join me and my new.
A bit of my faith dies every time I see it.
I know, I get sad.
Oh.
Yeah, especially when they do because they're always really long. I think Raid must insist on like at least 2 minutes or something.
Yeah.
And they're always like, oh, come and join me and this amazing new character. And it's someone with like stupid, like boob armor designed to appeal to like...
I keep getting this advert for... I don't know what it is. I've never clicked on it past the skip. But it's just like this obviously fake. Like I don't even know if the guy who's in it is like actually been recorded with consent, or whether it's just they've taken the camera feed from some stream and just overlaid it on top of this like random gameplay footage. But it's just like,
oh yeah, I've seen ones with streamers on. Yeah,
it's like this shitty looking game, and it's like, oh, I love this game. It's amazing. The artwork is great, and then I skip. This is like...
It sounds like it was Donald Trump at the beginning there. I love this game.
I love this game.
This is the best game ever. All my
friends rang me up, told me what a great game it is.
This is the best game ever.
No one even knew what games were before I told them what games are.
They're like all of them have got like asterisks next to every single one. Like, not true. This is a lie.
The China virus.
Like, this is all false.
Anyway... I wish I could escape all that and pretend to
into an RPG world.
Yeah, and pretend to be someone else in a different world with different problems.
Yeah, we're still with problems, but just different problems.
Different problems, like exciting problems. So,
yeah, I'd still like to be haunted by my problems.
I think I spoke quite a while back now on. It might have even been on like one of the first episodes, but I decided to venture into the real world.
Yes, and now you've retreated back into the fake world
and meet some fellow nerds.
And you did, and now you've decided that was a terrible idea.
Well, no, I've decided to retreat, but with my fellow nerds, into an RPG tabletop game.
That's awesome. I remember your update on that was you'd been to the board game night, and they were a cool group, and yeah, I think you were talking about going back. So that's awesome, dude.
Yeah, I've been going. Well, apart from like a couple of weeks, I go every week now.
Nice. And is it the same group every time?
Yeah. So,
oh, sweet, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah. So some people come and go, but they're like the core group's always the same. And yeah, we started playing this RPG called The Spire,
Oh yeah.
We've done 3 weeks of it so far. We've got the GM's really good, and I'd never thought I'd be that into like RPGs and stuff. Really, I always kind of wanted to get kind of have a go at them. And we tried to do one, didn't we, with a couple of friends over lockdown, and then I think we got as far as making the characters, didn't we? And then we never.
Yeah, it's so difficult. Especially, I feel like that kind of thing you kind of need to do in person.
Yeah.
Especially if you've got people learning.
You kind of needed. We didn't have a GM either. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So it was never going to work in that respect. But yeah, your one sounds awesome. It sounds. Has the game got like a specific setting that you use? Or
yeah,
is,
so
is
it's called the Spy. Yeah. So, basically the characters we're playing are dark elves, and we're in the Spire, which is kind of this tall like city that's ruled by light elves. They've got a more technical name, but I'm not really very good with all that jargon. And we're we're oppressed by them, and then there's this like dark kind of culty sort of thing starting to happen in the city. And
Cool.
We as a group have been brought together to covertly investigate and try and bring to an end
That's very nice. Is it like a is it kind of a D&D type thing where you're kind of fighting? Yeah, so you're fighting monsters. You've got like some characters you encounter. The DM kind of guides you through the experience, and like you say, oh, I do this, and they say, oh, this happens.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So far, we did have one character. The most chaotic session we've had. Well, both the first 2 sections were very chaotic. One of our characters, Chubbs, nearly got us killed like 3 times, and on the 3rd occasion he got into a fight with this gang because he was basically trying to rob the poor right in front of them. He decided to walk along the street and like throw coins into these homeless people's cups so hard that the rest of the money would bounce out and he'd catch it.
Wow, Chubbs. That's a
yeah, dick move.
That's a dick move, Chubbs.
Yeah. So we were all kind of like, and this gang, like, it attracts the attention of this gang. They start trying to, like, you know, maybe beat him up. He tries to talk his way out of it, doesn't manage it. They start to throw a punch, and I kind of just, I'm a priest, but I was kind of, at this point, I'd like tried talking to him several times, like in character, and he just, you know.
Are you like, look, have you tried going with God?
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't know, I prefer throwing these coins into these homeless folks' cups, actually.
Yeah, exactly. So I tried to talk him around. A few of the other characters did as well, and it didn't work. So I was kind of like, initially I was like, right, well I have an ability that I can use here where basically every time you use these abilities they cause you a certain type of stress.
Interesting. So instead of like magic cost, it's like they stress you out.
Yeah, but you can only get so much stress before it has fallout, which I don't fully understand because none of us have hit that yet. But anyway, I'd already cast it once to save his ass because he got into a pointless fight with a security guard in the previous session. So I could only cast it one more time without causing myself stress. And I was like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm not doing this again.
Yeah, Chubbs.
So I was kind of like, guys, I'm not saying we should kill him, but maybe we should just like not stop these guys from killing him.
Yeah, let him get a beating.
Somehow he managed to worm his way out of that, but we were on the way to these like underground train stations anyway. So when we got there, the other 4 of us just decided to gang up on him and murder him and throw him down a hole.
Oh wow, you killed a character.
We killed a player character, yeah.
Dang.
He was too much of a liability. We were supposed to be covertly investigating something, and he was drawing attention to us left, right, and center. And he wanted to basically, the first session, he basically was trying to get past this security guard by claiming that the director of this play that we were at was going to be assassinated, which he wasn't, obviously. And because no one would believe him, he decided when he got kicked out, we managed to distance ourselves from him, and we didn't get kicked out.
That he would assassinate the guy.
He decided to go and actually hire an actual assassin. And then
to make his own plot.
Yeah, and
like
then
his own
and then his
through.
plan was for us all to go back and pretend to be part of this elite secret underground league of protectors who would stop these people getting assassinated. And then if this person got assassinated, it was just collateral damage. And we didn't even know for sure that this person had the information we were looking for anyway. So it was like all this effort and like making us very conspicuous for not even anything close to what the actual objective of the mission was.
I will give him that that's quite creative.
Yeah, I mean, it was he really did get into character very well. Adam, bless him.
Did he do a voice?
The dungeon master he did very well to try and keep, but we were just like, right, we've got it. Something's got to happen. Yeah, he did do a voice. Yeah, something's got to happen to him. Either he's going to get killed by something else, or we're going to have to just finish him off because.
The DM would have probably finished him off then if you guys hadn't have, offed him.
Yeah, I guess probably, yeah.
Like put him into a fight and then the DM would have like...
The thing is, like, any conceivable scenario, because we were all a gang together, any conceivable scenario where he caught attention that subsequently led to him being murdered would probably have blowback on the rest of us. So we probably would have all just got killed.
Best to just off him quietly.
Yeah. So, yeah.
How did he react to being killed off?
I think he took it well. He took it all right. And he's basically he had a slave called Pi, effectively.
Oh.
Well, not a slave, technically not a slave, but his form of payment was basically blackmail because he basically.
That's even worse.
He had a sick mother, and Chubbs was basically paying for her to be taken care of.
Chubbs sounds like the fucking big bad that you'd face at the end, who you've been like.
Yeah, he was not a good guy. He was not a good guy.
Yeah, you couldn't even say that he's a complicated character.
No, he was just a dickhead.
So Chubbs is gone. Who's the guy now playing us?
He's
got a new
now
character.
playing Pi.
Oh, okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, which was my suggestion because I was kind of like, well, Pi's kind of been with us this entire time, so we'll kind of get him on side and be like, look, we'll take care of. We convinced him not to defend Chubbs when we went to kill him by saying, look, we'll take care of you. We'll take care of your mother, and you're free to just kind of, go and do whatever you want. You can stick with us if you want. Don't have to. But...
Yeah, we're not gonna pay you in blackmail.
Yeah. So, I think we did the just thing in the end. He needed to die, but
I think you've done the world a kindness.
Yeah. So it was just pure chaos. But yeah, like I say, I'm
you enjoying it?
I'm enjoying it. Yeah. It's I wasn't sure if I would, but yeah, it's good fun. And
nice.
I think the good thing is like the group are quite kind of, even though some of them have already played RPGs before, it's kind of like they're quite accepting to kind of like, okay, I'll kind of explain this thing that you don't understand and kind of
Yeah, that's pretty cool actually.
Yeah.
So tell me about your character if you're happy to disclose that. If you're not worried about people coming to find you.
So I don't think that'll be a problem. Hang on, let me just pull up my notes.
What's he called?
He is called Robine.
Robine? What's the meaning of Robine?
It's not at all derived from Robin.
Oh. but is there a reason for Robin?
Yeah, so one of the other characters, his character class is very good at like acrobatically swinging around the spire as their way of...
Oh, I thought you were going to say that one of the other characters was called Robin, and you were like, oh, fucking hell.
No, but they wanted to be called Batman.
Oh dear.
But,
I feel like that's a little bit on the nose.
But they couldn't, so they decided to be called Bateman. So I was like, oh, okay, well I'll be Robin then, but I can't have Robin, but I'll be Robine.
That's pretty clever.
So that's basically...
Yeah, I think calling your character Batman's a little bit
Right, my initial idea is I wanted to be to seek glory in battle is glorious, but that was a bit long.
Yeah.
That's a reference to a series of books that I'm listening to at the moment. But
yeah, I'm not a huge player of RPGs, but I think calling yourself Batman might be a bit a bit much.
Yeah, but that's why I've got links to his character because I'm
okay. Yes, you're Bateman. He's Bateman.
I helped him.
You're Robine.
So hang on, I can tell you the link here. I've got all my notes up here. So, helped him over an addiction to corpse fruit, which is a drug in the Spire, to a corpse fruit, to corpse fruit fueled by the trauma of his parents dying in a freak megacorvide related accident.
Oh my god, was that a freak accident where the corpse fruit caught fire in the pan?
No, the corpse fruit's a drug.
Oh.
The mega corvide are like these big
crows,
raptor kind of things. Crow raptor-y sort of things. But that was supposed to be like an analog for bats.
Oh, why were they not called craptors?
Well, they're not in the game. They're not supposed to be an analog. But I was using them as an analog for bats because, Batman.
Oh, okay, yeah. But you didn't call them craptors.
And his parents were murdered. So,
by craptors.
Trauma. No, mega corvides are actually part of the lore.
Oh, they're part of the lore. But why didn't they call them craptors?
I don't know. Why
I mean, it's a terrible name for them. That's probably why they
yeah,
didn't.
It's quite... Honestly, the amount of lore that I had to read and subsequently forget and have to keep referencing is... there's a lot. But, I've got my character description here. So, he's a...
So you saved him from the birds.
My character, Robine, is a short but well-built male who walks with a stoop and often a cane. Some have speculated the stoop and cane are a ruse to appear non-threatening. Whilst he once had family, he never speaks of them. Perhaps their loss led him to work in the temple. He likes to keep an air of mystery around him. So that's my character. And the air of mystery was to avoid me having to think too hard about his character.
He's like, they found him and his backstory was ambiguous and people don't know too much about him, but...
Yeah, so the cane turns into a staff called Moonsilver.
All right, is that what you used to are you a spellcaster then?
No, I haven't used it yet. It can cause,
you just bought it off eBay.
It can cause damage.
Like, when you hit people over the head with it?
I guess, yeah.
I've got my staff.
I have to roll a d6 and then half it because it's a d6.
Robine, quick, cast your spells, and you're like, I don't actually know how to use this thing. I just bought it because it looked cool. I kind of bonk people on the head with it, but that's all I can do.
But it's called Moonsilver, so
Yeah, you're like, I mean, the product listing said it was called Moonsilver, so I'm a pretty cool magic guy. And then they're like, Ethan, we need to cast a spell to make this bridge come down so we can get across. And you're like, so don't actually know how to use Moonsilver, just kind of got it to look cool. Those guys that buy katanas, but then...
Oh, God,
put them on their wall.
Katanas used to be cool until, every freaking...
Edgelords ruined them, didn't they?
Every freaking, fuckboy and, emo. Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know if you could lump fuckboys and emos together in the same group necessarily, but
no, they're two discrete groups with not the same.
But yeah, at least I know what you mean. Katanas kind of got ruined in terms of a lot of people bought them as posers.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm glad you're enjoying your RPG experience.
Yeah. It's I definitely recommend it. It's if you ever visit my vicinity, you should come and check out the board game cafe. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like a good board game cafe. The one local to me closed, unfortunately.
Oh, that's a shame.
During I don't know if you're still allowed to say the word on YouTube, but during the panoramic.
I think you're allowed to say the pandemic. Well, they're going to do demonetizers.
Oh yeah, yeah, it was a demonetization thing, wasn't it? You couldn't say it. But yeah, that one closed, unfortunately. So it'd be cool to see it. Coming as a one-off character, I'd have to be called who were the other ones? There was I could be what was it? There was one in Batman called Oracle, wasn't there?
Yeah.
I could be Boracle.
Boracle.
Yeah.
Or you could just be Java as an analog for that. Oracle.
Oh, that's clever. I was going to call myself Sun Microsystems. That's a little bit of a long name.
Yeah.
They're like, oh my god, hi, I'm Sun Microsystems. I'm no longer relevant.
Hi, I'm Advanced Micro Devices.
But I'm glad you're enjoying your RPG
I'm
experience.
Radeon ATI.
I'm Nvidia. I'm overvalued.
Yeah. Oh, shots fired.
Oh,
I'm 3DFX. Rip in peace.
Yeah.
Oh. But good times.
I'm glad you're enjoying your RPG experience. I do.
Definitely check it out. You can come get some milkshakes. Don't have to necessarily get involved in that. There's all sorts of games. They've got a big library. So so it's all good.
Nice. So while you've been having fun RPG experiences, I do have a small rant to go on.
Okay.
From this week. So at work this week, I've been helping. We're moving offices basically. Long story short, I'm helping to set up some of the new tech.
Yeah.
And I have developed. I already had this hatred within me. But I've developed an even more intense hatred this week of friendly error messages.
Yeah.
So what pushed me over the edge with this was I was trying to connect to a TV, and there should be a way to do it wirelessly from a Windows laptop with an Intel processor.
Oh, is it that?
TV.
What's
I forgot Mirrorlink, I think it's
like
called.
Mirrorcast.
Yeah, Mirrorcast, that's it. And I was like, I don't really want to have a cable trailing down. What are the alternatives? I don't really want to get people to all install a program. And it's like, it's easy to cast from your phone, but then it's like... Anyway, I was like, this Mirrorcast looks like it's going to solve my problem. All the PCs are Windows. As far as I know, they all have Intel CPUs. We're golden. It'll work. So I go to try it, and my God, it was just a sea of friendly error messages that helped me not. I got like, sorry, we couldn't connect. And it's like, what do I do with that? Like,
Nothing.
Why couldn't you connect? And it's like, I know the running joke, because I know the running joke used to be like, your PC would have an error, and it was so like error X00001, null reference pointer found at line 321. Consult your system administrator for more information, which is also pretty unhelpful.
Yeah, because you email it to your system administrator. Like, what does this mean? I was like, fucked if I know.
Yeah, I haven't got a phone. Try turning it off and on again.
Yeah.
But like, there's got to be a middle ground, right? Because like, you get something that says like something went wrong, and it's like, what do you search? Because it's like because it used to be. I feel like there was a time after the like unhelpful error messages where they were too technical. I feel like there was like a happy medium that was found where it would be like, because you know what the user reports come in like, right? Like, you understand. You get like a user reports an error, and they say, "Oh, my PC has an error," and that's not helpful. So you're like, "Oh, what did it say?" Or like, "What did you do?" And then you get the error message to pop up, and you're like,
"Oh,
I see."
As
It
saying,
says,
"Oh, my car can't drive."
Yeah, my car
won't drive to Basingstoke.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, great.
But like, you could at least prompt the user, couldn't you, to be like, "Oh, can you tell me what it says in that?" They're like, "Oh, it's got an error message," and you're like, "Oh, okay, what does that say?" You'd always have to do that prompt, but it's like you could at least get them to say it, and they'd be like, "Oh, it says file not found in use by another program," and you could at least like start troubleshooting that.
Yeah.
But like now, they just say like, you say like, "Oh, what does the error message say?" And they say like, "Oh, it says something went wrong."
Yeah.
And then like, what do you do?
Like, well, nothing, because you Google that, you Google like Mirrorcast, something went wrong, and then you'll just get
and then you get
a billion forum posts of completely irrelevant bollocks.
Exactly.
And half of the
like
time, there's not even a solution. It's just loads of people going, I don't know, like, get good, I guess.
Yeah, or it's like all of the top results are people that like, it turned out something really basic was wrong. So it's like, oh, oopsie,
yeah,
laptop wasn't turned on.
Even worse, there's just loads of people going, oh, I've got this problem too, and then loads of people will propose solutions, and then they were like, oh yeah, I've sorted it now.
Yeah.
How did you sort it?
Or all the solutions will be bad. Like, you don't want to do them. They'll be like, oh, I managed to fix this. I just reinstalled Windows and factory reset the TV.
Yeah. I bought a new laptop and it started working.
I bought the extra accessory for the TV, so I didn't need to connect the laptop anymore. That sorted it. It's like, that's not really a fix.
Yeah, I fixed my car. I bought a new one.
Yeah, I scrapped it and bought a new one.
Yeah.
I gave up. So yeah, I've developed a real hatred of those. And I'm like, what I'm not sure about is who they're for.
Yeah.
Because, like, I don't think they help users, because error messages don't help, like, a user who's completely, like, not sure when they see one. Like,
I guess at least it shows that it's no longer... Like, if it didn't come up with error message, they might just think, oh, it's still trying to do something. But if it comes up with the...
are needed.
Yeah, if it comes up with the error message, at least they know that it's actually failed to do something, I guess.
But it's like, who are the ones that just say, like, something's gone wrong? Like, who's that for? With, like, no detail.
Well, those people, I guess. It's just like...
But then what do they do? Because it's like, it used to be that they could contact someone and be like, oh, and then give them the details. But now it's like they can't do anything. They're just like, oh, it doesn't work.
Yeah. I don't know.
And all I can think is the ones that really annoy me is when they say like, "We're trying again."
Yeah.
But like,
who's we?
yeah, or it's like then it tries again, but it just hangs.
Yeah.
And you're like, "Is this broken forever?" I've seen so many of them this week with these various tech products, and it's driving me mad.
The best ones are when Windows blue screens.
Oh.
And it gives you that little...
Immediately.
It's got that, yeah. You know how it's got that QR code that you'd assume takes you to the specific error? It doesn't. Just takes you to a generic... Windows is blue screened. And then you're like, oh, fuck. So you have to take a picture of the specific error. And then half the time, if you look that error up on Microsoft support, there's no official Microsoft article on the Microsoft fucking error code.
Yeah, they just never...
So you just have to look on some third-party website that's, like, mostly guessing what it means.
Yeah,
like,
and like they don't have
What is the point in having specific error codes for the problem if you're not going to document what the error code means?
Or like make them easier to log than you having to photograph your screen.
Yeah. Like, what's the point? It might as what it should do is Windows is blue screened, panic and pull your phone out and try and get a picture before this screen.
Yeah, quickly, because sometimes you've got like 2 seconds before it disappears and reboots.
Yeah, and hopefully it's not blurry, and hopefully your phone doesn't do that annoying thing where it makes the capture noise, and then you move your phone away, and then it hasn't actually captured the photo until you start moving your phone away, and then it's just a blurry mess, and then you thought you captured it, so you didn't get a picture, and then you've missed the blue screen, and then you go hunting through your Windows event logs, and you're trying to find in a sea of red text and things went wrong, which specific one the thing that went wrong actually caused the blue screen, because things are going wrong all the time, and yet somehow Windows still fucking functions.
Yeah, it's like, have you ever used Event Viewer to successfully diagnose a problem?
Hypothetically.
I'm yet to use Event Viewer to successfully diagnose a problem. I don't know if I'm just using it wrong.
I think I've never been able to resolve a problem, but I think I've been able to identify what at least the general what was related to the problem. We had an issue in my last job with a set of users using these Lenovo desktops where whenever they were running an Office program, randomly, it would just blue screen, and it would. It turned out it was something to do with Office. It was blue screening every time that the computer tried to do something to do with printing. But
I remember this one.
But the users weren't actually trying to print when it happened, and I think it turned out it was just basically Office must have been doing some kind of polling or something of the printer to see if it was online, and every time it did that, it caused the computer to blue screen. And the fix in the end was just replace the computers, because basically it was just a bug in the chipset driver, and the model was EOL, so there was never going to be a patch. So
that's brutal.
SOL.
Yeah.
So we resolved it by replacing the computers, which we were going to do anyway at some point. But
that's props to you for using the Event Viewer to diagnose that. Because every time I've been into Event Viewer, I've been like,
it was painful. It was literally over a period of months of this issue.
That is a difficult
coming up
issue,
again
though.
and again and again, and yeah.
That is a difficult issue though, because that's like intermittent, which are the worst ones, and it's not affecting everyone.
We narrowed it down to being it was only affecting people with this specific model of desktop, and then but we couldn't.
That's pretty impressive that you managed to actually get a fix for that, because like every time I
we couldn't fix it.
Well,
it's not really
you
a
knew
fix.
What the root cause was.
Throwing out the entire. Like, can you imagine if that was a human? Like, you could, like, I've always thought, I used to think that a lot when I was working in IT. It's like, God, imagine how, like, I hate troubleshooting sometimes when it's difficult issues, but at least I can go for the big hammer approach and go, well, we'll just give you a new computer. Or we'll just reinstall Windows and see what happens. We'll just rip parts out and replace them until it starts working properly. Or, like, you can't really do that with a human. Can you imagine being an actual, like, troubleshooting flesh bag issues?
I have always thought that actually about like if you were a doctor trying to diagnose a person.
Yeah.
Because there's so many, like, you've got no logs.
Yeah.
Like,
And a lot of the time you're just relying on anecdotes.
yeah, and just like everyone's different.
Yeah.
So like you have like I would hate it. I would find it so frustrating.
Yeah.
If like
you can't just like rip out their immune system and replace it, or like replace a hard drive, or fresh install.
yeah, you've got no
human
parts
OS.
cannon.
Or,
You got no
yeah.
parts cannon to just fire at it.
Yeah, and you can't. And you can't just like write them off and replace them if
You also
can't
can't
figure
just,
out
like-
what's wrong.
You also can't just like follow them around 24/7 and
Yeah.
like try a bunch of stuff constantly until you get to the. But you can't sit there with them for like 8 hours a day,
Yeah.
getting them to do like various permutations of different things again to see if it makes things better or worse.
Yeah.
And like I always thought that as well, where like you can't like say, oh, try this. There's like a 50-50 chance it will make you 10 times worse.
Yeah.
But if it makes you 10 times worse, I'll know what the problem is.
Yeah, but it's okay because all the data's backed up anyway. So worst case scenario, we'll just restore from backup.
Yeah. all the data's backed up okay, but we've not tested the backup restoration in years.
Yeah.
But you know, we'll test that when we actually have to do it.
Should we end on the edgelord statement that you can't back up a human life?
I think there's some beauty in that with all the like AI stuff.
Yeah.
You can't back up a human
You
life.
can back up a large language model, but you can't
Yep.
back up a human.
You can carry a lot. Well, you can't really carry a lot. Well, that's a lie. You can't carry a large language model around with you on a hard drive because
Not
yeah,
yet.
that's not yet. But you can't. You can carry access to Wikipedia. You can carry access to a large language model around with you in your pocket, but you can't carry well, you could carry a person around with you in your pocket if you're exceptionally strong, actually.
Yeah, it'd have to be a very big pocket or a very small person.
Or like a baby. You can carry a baby around.
Yeah, like in one of those swaddle things that. Like,
Yeah, on like the front
hand-
carrier.
hand-
That analogy doesn't really work, does it?
No, I think let's just keep it simple. You can back up a large language model, but you can't back up a human.
Yep, you're precious and unique.
But you know
Just
what?
like an EOL laptop.
And just like this episode of the Scrambled Checksum podcast.
And every other episode. Check them out if you haven't already. They are on, and I'll hand this over to Ethan because I always get the list wrong.
Spotify, Deezer, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Audible, and
Amazon. Maybe not.
No,
We're not on Amazon.
No.
Downplay the Amazon. No. Fuck off, Jeff. We're not on your platform.
Well, we're on Audible. It's owned by Amazon.
Oh. Okay. I retract my statement.
And just like every precious human life, this episode must eventually come to an end, and I'm afraid.
And we'll be back again in 2 weeks.
Yeah, we'll be back again in 2 weeks for more riveting content. Thank you very much for tuning in. As always, I have been Ethan.
I've been Kieran, and congrats for making it to the end. We'll see you 2 weeks on Monday.
Bye!
Bye-bye!